Hello everybody, Malinka here, and I am back with a new book. Boris Pasternak, Dr. Zhivago. It is again one of the Russian classics that I've been meaning to read since forever, and now I had a chance thanks to the Bout of Books 9.0, and I read it, but it is such a dark book that it took me longer than usual. However, I recommend it to anybody that is interested in politics, history, and all the human atrocities that happened in the last century, I think. Yeah. So the book covers around 901 to 1940, so it has parts of the Civil War, revolution of the war, then part of the Bolshevik system, part of the communist system. So it's a huge clash or collage of all the things that happened bad in that time in Russia. The story, it's not a novella, and it's not doesn't have a plot. It is the life of Yuri Zhivago and his family. And while the author is showing us what happened to him and his family, he is enumerating all the historical events that happened then. In a nutshell, the story is about Yuri Zhivago. Ever since he was very young, he lived with his mom. His father was a businessman traveling all around the world, or I don't know, spending the family's money because they got poor very fast. And Yuri decided to be a doctor. So he was a doctor. He was a physiotherapist, I think. It wasn't a surgeon or anything, but his main desire was to be a poet, a philosopher, to be part of the intelligent group of people that think about the meaning of life and something like that. He gets married to Tonya, and then they have a happy family. Then they move around because of the Civil War. He goes to war. There he meets Lara, another character, very important character of this story. They somehow get together. It's not a love story, it's not a romance. There is some sort of cravings there. They get together. The family of Yuri gets deported in France. He stays with Lara, but the authorities are after them because it was illegal to not have a relation outside of law, because Lara was also married with some revolutionary rebel. Then he gets somehow Lara on the train. She leaves and he moves back to Moscow, where he finds another girl, Marina, and they have 2 babies. And then he realizes that he needs to clarify his life. He moves away and takes another job, and he dies on the first day of job, having a heart attack. Accidentally, Lara was in the city and sees him at the funeral. I'm really sorry to give up all the details, but I swear these are not all the details. This book is heavy with details, with events. They go running one after the other. It's a book that will not bore you events wise. It will bore you because it doesn't have a plot. It's just describing the life of this Yuri Zhivago. Besides the fact that those were historical facts and they cannot be changed, what really bothered me was Yuri's attitude towards relationships, towards women. He had, I don't know if it's a fear of commitment, but it is a fear of insecurity. So in a time when the government told you what you have to do, the police was after you if you did something minor, illegal. So I feel like he was craving for emotional stability or security. This is why he just jumped from one arm to another woman's arm. It wasn't love. This book has no, I mean, there is some passion there, and he said there is some words about passion, but this book doesn't have any love story, not even for his first wife, not even for Lara the lover, and not for Marina the last lover, wife, whatever. And he is craving for feminine attention all the time, and he's like a child needing for mommy's mommy's attention and mommy's care for everything. That was very, very annoying to me. I think that I had a love-hate relationship with this book just because of that. Every time he was doing something heroic and every time he was doing a good thing and escaping the regime, I just could not get over the hate that I had for him for dropping from one person to another. I'm sorry, I just couldn't. I'm sorry. All in all, I gave this book I think 4 or 5 stars. It was a very good read. It was a heavy read and it made me think of a lot of things, and I really liked it. So if you have this, give it a try. You will have to power through the first 100 pages, I think, just because there are a lot of characters and they move from Lara's life, the other woman, because she also had her own story and she had her own husband and her own lover and her own dramas and wars, and then it switches to Yuri Zhivago. So there are quite a lot of characters, but it is a really, really good read. So give it a try. I highly recommend it. If you are a good reader and you want something challenging, go for this one, and be prepared for a lot of darkness, a lot of death, and a lot of blackness and just depression and war. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Bye.